Howdy, YouTube! Anywho, today we're going to talk about, is a big bore 143 kit worth it on the Z125? Many of you know, many of you don't know. If you do not know, go watch the video here about how I big bored the Z125. It from Man in the Box. It's called the Power Package, and you can get it one or two options depending on what you want to do and how much work you want to do. One option I recommend is the 143 kit with the head, with the cam, oversized valves, all that fun stuff. And it's 143 kit legit. You can do the power package bonus times a million and do add the stroker kit to it as well, but you have to split the casings and you have to, it's just a lot of work. I personally don't think is worth it, but if you want that extra punch, I know it makes a lot more torque with that stroker kit if you decide to get it. I stuck with the standard 143. It comes with a larger intake manifold and stuff too. I currently have the Man in the Box intake and the Yoshimura exhaust. So let's talk about stock performance. I don't want to bore you, but this is just to get it out of the way. 125cc obviously, and the Z makes a lot better power on the lower end. I just love the way it makes power. I would say 7,000 RPMs and under. To where 7,000 and over, you don't have a lot of power. The bike just has not that great of a top end. So let's talk about the 143 kit. Why does Man in the Box sell this 143 kit? I don't know how to do an A, because it's reliable. If you go anything bigger than a 143, again, my opinion, I just think you lose the reliability factor of the bike. You start turning those RPMs, you start putting power through this little bitty engine and the transfer case and stuff, and you might have an engine that blows up. I mean, look at all the guys that did the Takagawa or whatever 143 kits or whatever they had, and they were blowing up all the time. I mean, it just goes to show you. And that was one big reason I kept the Grom stock for so long. Top speed right now, 66. Can I get a little more? I don't think so. As you guys know, the rev limiter on these things in fourth gear is 67. But with the 72 sprocket, I'm actually going 70 miles an hour on a Z125. How crazy is that? The big bore was actually making me go so quick, so fast. I actually went up a tooth in the front to get a little higher top speed, because right now if I didn't, I'd probably be at 9,500 RPMs. But what really makes this big bore kit come alive is the top end. It's just having that race head, having that cam, having that larger intake manifold. But none of this will work if you don't have a field controller. I run the Bazaz. I've ran a power commander before on the Grom, but the Bazaz is where it's at. It's so easy to use. The auto-tune function is amazing, and this is just an auto-tune. If I actually got this thing on a dyno and properly tuned, who knows how much power this thing will make. Keep in mind, guys, I do have the light and primary gear installed. It makes it spin up faster. You lose 2 pounds off of the rotational mass of all that good stuff. Don't get me wrong, guys. You can keep the stock bore, you can do an intake and exhaust, and you could probably even do a cam, because I mean, look at her ride from motorcycle magazine, or motorcyclist magazine, however they say that. Or I did a Bazzaz cam intake exhaust, you know, just the same setup I have, just not 143, and he was able to reach top speed. Now, granted, this bike is going to be a lot quicker, and I think it'll make around 14 horsepower, and his bike, I think, made like 10, 11, somewhere around there, I can't really remember. But the fuel controller is where it's at. If you don't have a fuel controller, then the bike is definitely not gonna run right. The only bad thing about this kit is the fuel consumption. This thing eats fuel up like crazy.